Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm in a little different place today. I'll only be here for a couple of minutes. We're gonna go for a walk. We're still in Bangkok. I'm just at a Cafe Amazon. Very average coffee, but it's all right. It's edible. Anyway, we're here, and today I'm gonna just take a little walk down the street, go through the market real quick, show you guys the market real quick, fairly early in the morning, and then walk over to the mall and go over to Pacamara Coffee, and then from there there's a little coffee festival in the mall right now. So hopefully, if things go the way that I hope they go, we'll go to the little coffee festival in the bottom floor, the little festival area, and we'll check it out. There's a couple coffee places there. I mean, it's not anything extravagant, but it's a coffee place. And there is another one going on. I got a message yesterday, every day before yesterday. Hey, Carlos, how you doing? I guess you're in Bangkok right now. But I got a message the other day saying there's a festival coming up next month, early in the month. So I'll probably go to that. Daniel, I don't usually drink mocha frappes. I don't drink frappes. Look what I have right here. It's an espresso. Once in a while, I have a hot chocolate or a cold chocolate or something like that. Oh, lat kebab. Good morning, Mr. Vixter. Good morning, everybody. Sawadee Ton Chow. Another day. I did not stream on Sunday. I had planned to go on Sunday with my wife to the temples, but she wanted to go to 3 or 4 temples, and I just wasn't having it. I just did not want to go to 3 or 4 temples. 1 or 2, okay, I can handle that. But 3 or 4, I was like, come on. So she's like, whatever. You don't want to go? Okay. I said, all right. So, yeah, listen, the thing is most of the time there's road work everywhere. That's why I always take the SkyTrain or the subway. I try to. And there's a couple of coffee shops down by where Jono lives, and unless I take the yellow line to, I don't remember where it is, and then I gotta cut over on the Sukhumvit line and go down a ways, then I gotta walk or take a motorcycle, or I go all the way down to the subway. From the subway, I go up to Asok, and then I take a left and go all the way up to Prakanong, and then I gotta walk a ways. It's just a hassle. It doesn't take you everywhere, and even when they have the MRT going on Ramkhamhaeng Road, I still think it's going to be, there are going to be places, there are going to be little pockets in the city that you can't reach. You just have to jump in a taxi or on a motorcycle or something like that. And to be honest, I have my doubts about motorcycles just because I ride them all the time. I'm on the back of a motorcycle. And it gets to be, sometimes it's, I get some guys, they go like 10 miles an hour. Wow, that's a long time. Probably get there in half that time if there was no traffic. But sometimes I'm on a motorcycle and the guy's driving, like 10 miles an hour. And I'm like, okay, whatever, it's better slow than fast. And then other times, there's traffic going in both directions. There's people cutting over in the other lane. There's people parked in the lane, and the guy's like hauling ass. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going 70 miles an hour, 70 kilometers an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, and this guy is like, he just wants to get there as fast as he can, and I just don't like that. I've told him before, I'll give you an extra 10 or 20 baht if you just drive slower. You don't need to rush. I always tell them in Thai, you don't need to rush. So, all right, let me finish my coffee. Right now the weather is very good. Temperature's 80 degrees, high of 92 today, low of 74. The feel like temperature, 83 degrees. So it's relatively cool, but the sun has not really come out yet. Air quality, 87, which is moderate, which is actually pretty good for here. And the Thai baht is over 35, so I'm clicking my heels. It's 35.10. Humidity is only 68%. So can't complain about the weather. Things are good. And just give me a couple seconds. We're going to get out of here and start taking a walk. The mall is basically right down the street. It only take me, well, the slow way, it'll take me 25 minutes to get there. If I really wanted to get there quickly, it'd take me like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So this is the view from where I sit. Big business going on here. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. I got my microphone on today. And you can see me all right. I suspect that the video is good, which is great. And you can see behind me, we got lots of people over here. A few people coming here getting their coffees. You know, I like Cafe Amazon because it's cheap. It's only 40 baht for a coffee. But honestly, the coffee is a bit dirty, a bit earthy. It's a notch below Starbucks, which is not saying much. All right, let's get out of here. Let us get out of this place. Thank you very much, Mr. Richard. Thank you very much. Do me a favor, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, join, become a member of YouTube, a VIP member, become a Patreon patron, join my website, whatever it might be. Do your thing, go into the description and check it out. There's all kinds of ways you can do things. All right, so here we are. This chick from Cafe Amazon's gone down here to get some breakfast. It's a little quiet now. Oh, she's got a nice little breakfast there. Oh, that looks good. That looks very good. Got all kinds of people here because the market's right next door. This place is open at it's open 24 hours. But, good morning. Sawadee Ton Chow. Sawadee. But around 2:30, 3 o'clock is when the place really gets kicking. People are dropping stuff up. The streets are just full. Now, do we want to go the back way? Yeah, why not? We'll go the back way. The sights and sounds of Bangkok. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the truth about this place. Which, over time, I realized this place is not that much different. You may be looking at it going, oh yeah, it's much different. Not really. There's markets. Okay, the markets might be a little bit different. Where you get your food might be a little different. The prices might be a little different, but people want the same thing, That's the big truth. People want the same thing. Although here, some people might want money more than others, but doesn't everybody in the States? It's like, really, everybody's chasing a better life. That's what it is. Just make it to the end, have as much fun as you can, a little money, She's working hard. There we go. Here we go, honey. Come on, come on. Come on. She's shy, this girl over here on the right. She's shy. All right, we're in the bowels now. We're in the bowels of the market. Oh, the smells, the curry. I love it. I love this market. Even though there's rats everywhere. There's rats everywhere in this place. Yeah, a lot of the markets are the same. I mean, if you went to like Otokor Market by CASHAPP, it's very clean, you know. Kind of quiet. Now, this one is very busy in the. Look at this. It gets very busy in the middle of the day, rather in the morning. There's always something going on. There's always some young strapping lads carrying stuff. When you die, you're going to have a negative bank account. Well, whatever money I have will go to my family, and that's fine. All right, let's go over here. This is by where the seafood is, and we're just gonna walk through here and then get out of here and go to the mall and talk about the truth. Everybody has their own truth here. Let's go. Shall we go this way? Okay. The curry. Plenty of chicken. Ooh. That grate does not feel very strong. Quite a few Burmese working here, living here, many more than in the past, a lot more. I mean, it's probably 500% more than there used to be. Some of these places are just getting set up now, which is a bit odd for me, but they take all these umbrellas down every night. Watermelon guy. This girl over here, all she sells is this, the fruit over here. See? 400 baht minimum wage. I don't think it's that high. I think it's like 365 or something like that. Let's see, can we go over here? I don't want to go over here. I read out the minimum wage the other day, and I don't think any of them were 400 baht. They're trying to raise it. I don't know if they have yet, but it was like 365. And Bangkok was the place where it was the highest. All right, here we go right here. Here's some kratom leaves. For you guys who like the kratom. pick it up for dirt cheap here. It's like, you can get it for 20 baht. 20 to 35 baht for 100 grams of those leaves. And 100 grams will set you up for a little while, a couple of days at least, if you're chewing it all the time. I don't like that, but I don't like the leaves. You can hear they're working on the sky train. See, they got all kinds of goodies over here. There's a nice little fruit girl over here I get my fruit from sometimes. She's very hesitant to smile, this one. But this is just where all the meat is. Got all kinds of things like, you know, look at that pig's head. Want some pig's head? Ugh, no thank you. Pig's ears, pig's head. All right, we're not gonna go down here, but basically it's the same thing. Oh, here comes the car. What happened to Gennaro? This one, look at this center over here. You see where the SkyTrain goes. It's just a mess. Look at this. It's just a mess, man. Mess. This is the fruit stand I'm talking about. The pork stall girl, the pork stall girl used to work right over here. She hasn't been here for years. And now this little Burmese girl works the fruit stands. She's very nice, very shy. At least with me, she is. You can see what they're doing here. There we go. Starting to get hot. If you want to walk or you want some real cheap stuff, this is where you come. So the mall is just ahead on the left. This place does brisk business usually. Well, there's no extension. You know, the BTS here is great. No, there's no extension. The extension goes from Lat Pral down to, it's going to go down past Chatuchak, I think. But this one here on Lat Pral is great for me. It really helps out a lot. I haven't really gone anywhere in the past week, but usually I'm all over the place, and I go right to I take a motorbike, then I cross the street, or I take a motorbike all the way to the station. The motorbike to the station is like an extra 20 baht, and if you just walk across the street and a little bit down the street, then it just costs you 20 baht, which is great. And then you just wait for the train, and that's it, you know? Piece of cake. So, for good or bad, this is the hood, the neighborhood. You know, they got all kinds of cheap shirts here, stuff like that. I never buy any of this stuff. See, they got Burmese riding, Thai riding, because there's a large Burmese population here. Now look at this over here. They're getting ready to put this up. You can see all the way down. Pretty cool. These truths are self-evident. Lotus. They fixed this up. Look at this area here. They've really fixed it up. They put these tiles down and everything like that. They're putting the trees up. It's kind of nice, you know. It's far better than it used to be. And if you remember, a long time ago, right here, there used to be a number of little Quitio and noodle shops, and they were an eyesore. But I mean, like, look at this. They need to clean this up. I don't know how they can do it. Maybe section by section. Oh, those again. So they're back to the regular schedule now. Okay, so we're gonna just cross on over here. You can't go into Happy Land because they're not open yet. Now, I don't know if they let you in to go to the donut. No, they don't. They don't let you go in just for the donuts. They won't. You can't come in because they lock it till 10 o'clock, even over here, and you can smell it. Oh yeah, it smells good. I haven't walked around even just a little bit for I don't know how many weeks now. But you can see that they're building the walkway here. I don't know how long it's going to take them because they have the tiles up on the other side down the way where the Starbucks is at the end of the mall here. They have the tiles up already. But no tiles up here. This reminds me of New York, honestly. I mean, I don't mean the look, I mean just the concrete everywhere and streets and cars, and it's just crazy. They finally opened up right here when you walk through the door. There's this place, I can't remember what the name of it is, but they sell like jewelry. It was supposed to open up in like the end of October, and they never opened up. They said opening soon. Now they finally opened up. There is a Victoria's Secrets inside too.
They've taken down the Christmas tree. Although they haven't taken down the Christmas ornaments. They've changed the name of this place. It's now the Life Store. They've got, I don't know what the Harborland Aqua World, which I don't know what that is. Whew, it's hot. Schmegdonald's. Schmegdonald's used to open up really early. They used to open up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, but they don't anymore. Whew. I mean, if you look at this, look at. Yeah, they edited, they changed everything. They painted this over here. They painted it red. They're building a platform over by Starbucks where you can drive in and walk in. You can see right here they've got everything painted. You know, they've done a lot here. I will say that they've done a lot. You know, it's just, to me, you've seen one mall, you've seen them all. So I think they're just trying to upgrade. You see, here's the SkyTrain again going by. You think? I would think you would know that. That means everybody in it is an angel. Even me. They move Fuji around. You see, they got Cafe Amazon right here. I just can't. I don't want to go to Cafe Amazon, but you can see. Very busy. They got the Moss Burger, which I went there once and I just said it's very difficult for me to go again. But this place is such a mess. I mean, you look, you got the street underneath, you got the walkway there, then you go up and you got the highway, then you go up and you got the SkyTrain. So it's like if the SkyTrain fell, it'd fall onto the highway and it'd probably knock the highway down. Then the highway would fall and it'd fall on top of people walking or crossing the street. It's just crazy. You know, they're just packing in as much as they can, and that's what they do. In Thailand, if there's a space open, they'll stick a squid stall there, they'll stick a fried rice stall there, they'll put whatever they can up in order to make it commercially viable, make a little bit of money. All right, so we're gonna go into Pacamara. It's 9:30, they should be raring to go. Something like that. Oh yeah, good music, all this music here. Only one guy here. One guy, no girls. Here we are. Boom. So what is your truth about Thailand? Because I know there's some people, you know, I was talking to a guy yesterday and he lives here 5 months out of the year, and he said, if I live here, I'm better off, even if he has to pay taxes. No, it's not a Ferrari logo. This is the logo right here. Kind of like it. It's got a unicorn. Pacamara is a bit of a strange place. And you know, I've been going to all kinds of coffee shops over the years, but also especially in the past few months. And Pacamara is a bit of a strange place because it's not really the highest quality, but it's pretty good, and yet they charge premium prices. But I don't mind.
because it's comfortable. The staff doesn't bother me. They're very nice. They give good service. Their food and everything is okay. So I don't really mind. Then I go over to Starbucks, and as soon as I walk in, I walk into Starbucks, I get uptight, man. I'm like, I don't want to be here. Because it's like you're going in there and it's a pretentious place. And I went to a coffee shop yesterday. In fact, I'm transferring the files at home right now. The video files and some photos. But I went to a place yesterday. I was just walking around the mall. I just was like, maybe I can find a new coffee shop. I can go have a coffee there. I don't want to come to Pacamara. So I'm walking and I come down the escalator and boom, right there is this place, Coffee 101. Now I found out already there's 4 locations. That's the truth. There's 4 locations, and I thought, it's a rinky-dink little place. How good can it be? I go there, and there's this little girl there she told me, I've been working here a month. I've been a barista for a month. And I ordered a coffee, and the coffee it's better than Cafe Amazon. Now they charge 59 baht, which is very reasonable, because a lot of places now, it's like haircuts. The prices have gone up. They're charging 100 baht. They don't make any qualms about it. The one place that I went to, that Kaizen, was 135 baht, which is the most expensive espresso I think I've ever had. Bangkok is the same policy, Daniel. They're not going to complain if you go in. Now this place, I've seen them where somebody was just sitting on the corner of the little place here, on a corner bench. They're just sitting there like waiting for somebody, and they walked over to them and said, listen, this is for customers. I was surprised. I kind of like that. You know, I come in, I don't order right away, but I always order. And so I don't feel bad, you know. Well, I don't think they're going to raise the wages, actually. I really don't think they're going to do that. Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter is that prices are rising everywhere in the world, just about everywhere. And here, you know, the prices are just going to go up. They don't go down. You never saw a coffee shop charge 100 baht and then, you know, 6 months later they're charging 70 baht. You never see that. It's 100 baht, boom, it stays at 100 baht. So you got to think about that. But I went into this Coffee 101 and this girl was there. I got a coffee and it was in a paper cup, which I didn't really like. But okay, she really, you know, she wanted me to be happy. She was like, let me know if the coffee is good. And she used the timer, she used the temperature gauge, she was doing everything right. And the coffee was pretty good. And it was 59 baht. I thought, this is a good value. Well, I can tell you, I looked at, I was telling 2 quarters Korean, I looked at prices from Bangkok to Athens, $688 round trip, which is about 22,000 baht. That's cheap. So we may pull the trigger on it. He told me to wait until February, the beginning of February, on a Monday or Tuesday, because that's when the prices tend to be lowest. So I'm gonna wait. But that's pretty darn cheap to go to Europe nowadays. I mean, you know, when I was traveling and I was paying for tickets, I could get a ticket for $600-700 all day long from LA to Bangkok. And I usually stopped in Tokyo or Korea or somewhere like that. So yeah, I mean, if you really look, you can find some good fares, but overall the fares have been rising. Everything's rising. They're charging more for everything. So that's the way it goes. I gotta think, what do I want to get here? I don't want to get any sweets, but I want to get maybe an espresso and like a little sandwich or something, even though there's carbs in it. But this is the thing. I go to places and I try things out, and I go, I gotta try it here. You know, I went to the coffee shop the other day, Caro. They had this thing there. It looked so good. I was like, I gotta eat this. I gotta try it just to test it out. And so that's what I did. But anyway, the truth is that for me, as I see it, stays in Thailand full time, and an Aussie wife that says, oh God. Spoken like a man who's not married. We're wanting to fly to Rome from Bangkok in September. Oh, interesting. Well, it should be, you know, price should be reasonable. Although, I don't know. I mean, you know, it depends. I don't know when the high season ends. It might be over in September. I want to see what I want to get here. I'll take you guys along here with me. Let's see, what do we want? Sawadee Cup. Oh, Italian chocolate hazelnut cake. No, thank you. Chocolate custard roll. No, thank you. Espresso panna cotta. No, thank you. Chicken and fresh mozzarella on rosemary focaccia. Paris ham is always expensive, but let's see what we got here. They have little deals here, which are not bad. Blueberry, no. Paris ham, oh, $2.45 from $2.75. No, thank you. I think I get this one right here. Chicken, yeah. Ourนี้ครับกับเอสเปรสโซ่แล้วก็ใช้อันนี้วันนี้วันอะไรอ่ะวันอังคาร Yeah. Cup. So I gotta punch in my phone number. On Wednesdays they give you 20% off, which ain't bad. I just found that out the other day. All right, hang on a second here. No, none sold. Where is it? Cash, baby, cash. Sweating. Thank you. Yeah, you seem like the kind of guy who would get in trouble. you would get in trouble if you're alone. Oh, God. Yeah, and this song that they play it so much. It drives me nuts. This has got to be one of the most popular new Christmas songs. I mean, fairly new. And it just drives me nuts. Billy has his reasons for not going to Sarni's. Actually, Sarni's is a high-end place. I mean, really. It's the kind of place you can easily spend 500, 1,000 baht there. You know, you get yourself a coffee, then you go, oh, maybe I'll have another one, because you're sitting there for a while. And then you have a breakfast, or you have, you know, a sweet or something. It's 500 to 1,000 baht. So that's another. Listen, I hate to tell you, but the big truth here in Thailand is that it ain't cheap anymore. It's not cheap, and the air ain't clean, and the roads ain't empty. Lots of traffic, lots of pollution, you know. So now the good thing here is that I don't have to go and pick up my order. They just bring it over to me, which is pretty good. I like that. You know, it used to be that they all did that. You're sitting at a counter, they give you your meal. Why are you going there tomorrow, sir? Which one? The one there near Prakanong? That one's kind of nice. I think it's nicer than the one on Tongson. And I like the one on Chao Phraya, probably the best of all. But it's a bit pricey. Yeah, okay. Anyway, you know, they built that new M-Sphere. And I went in there the one time it wasn't even really open. You know, it wasn't fully open. I didn't want to go back. I don't want to go to M Courtier most of the time. Why? If I want something high-end, I can go in there and just buy it and get out. If I want something, you know, like a shirt like this, I come here, I pay for it, I get out of here. You know, I go to the grocery, I go to my coffee shop, time to get out. You know, and that way I don't spend as much money too, because if I'm walking around and I'm like, oh, well, let me stop here, then I spend some money, then it's, oh, let me go over here, and then next thing I know, I'm like, I just spent 3,000 baht. For what? Anyway, so those are some of the truths. And the truth is that, you know, I was talking to the guy yesterday, and he's here 5 months out of the year. And now he does them, but not as much as us. He's here 5 months out of the year, and he can't decide if he wants to leave the British system and come here and be better off financially, or stay there and have the option to come here whenever he wants for as long as he wants or whatever. And I'm like, why don't you just come here then? Because if I go back, I've got to go back and get back in the system. It's going to be a pain in the neck. And I'm like, and he's 70 years old. He's an older guy. Yeah, he likes that Tao Bin. He really loves that Tao Bin. He watched that video that I made, and then he went, oh, let me try that place. There's one right downstairs. Then he went there, and he's like, oh, I love it. Listen, it makes better coffee, in my opinion, than like a place like Cafe Amazon or something like that. I think coffee's a little bit better. I have not seen, oh, I saw her yesterday. The girl from Minato, I saw her yesterday talking to some, looked like a bigwig. But she doesn't work all the time here. I don't know where she is. There's only one Minato now. There used to be two. There used to be one at Seacon Square. Thank you. Look at this here. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Boom. Now, if I really wanted, I could take the bread off and just eat the stuff on the... So there we are. Can't complain about this. They give... This is sparkling. Sparkling water. Some espresso. Good, just like always. Now let me take a bite of this. Even though I don't always eat breakfast, but you know, whatever. I'll try this. Pretty good. You know, something else I've been thinking about, because Social Security is getting closer and closer and closer for me. And I just think, what is that extra money going to mean to me and my wife? Does it mean that we're going to be able to do a lot more things? We're going to have freedom to travel, freedom to stay in a place we want to stay? Because Nicholas will be done in about a year and a quarter with his schooling. Alex is done already. So hopefully both of them will get a job in about a year and a half, 2 years. They'll both be working. Then we have the freedom to do what we want to do. And you know, I know my wife, she doesn't want to live in the South, but she wants to spend a little time with her family now and then. And then it's like, all right, so you can be there with them for 4 or 5 days, and I'll be down in the South on the, you know. How did you come to that conclusion that you were going to do all that tomorrow? Is that a treat to yourself, or what is it? I'm curious to know. Mr. Two Quarters Kareem is leaving in 5 days. Oh. You're moving with 5 days left? It's interesting. You saving money by moving? Oh, wow. That sucks. Billy isn't you. He doesn't always want to go to Nana. I mean, really. That's you, Gennaro. Hey, Gennaro. Hey, lurkers. Do me a favor. Click thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I know there's a lot of people that watch and that comment. They don't subscribe, and they comment all the time. I'm like, leave a super chat. You cheap bastards. Dude, you're an American. I'm not calling you loon. Doesn't matter. I don't care. That's the thing. You change your name every other week. I don't even look anymore. That's too small for me to see, honestly. I can't see that small. I didn't put my glasses on, which I should. Okay. Why call yourself Loom? Yeah. I was hungry. Gennaro crazy about the name change. I'm gonna give you guys the truth. everybody that I know pretty much, I mean, okay, Bob's been here like 17 years. Tom's been here like 17 years. But even them, I don't know why. I don't believe Bob speaks any Thai. And Tom, you know, he speaks about 5 words and that's it. So to me, you know, it's like, imagine that you are a Mexican and you move to America, but you never learn to speak English. Imagine you're a German and you come to America, you never learn how to speak English. Well, that's what you do when you come to Thailand. You don't learn to speak Thai. It's the same thing. So, I mean, every guy I know, honestly, almost every guy I know, they know, some of them know maybe 20 words of Thai, and that's about it. Billy, Jono, they don't speak Thai. My buddy Scott, he spoke Thai, but it was okay, but it wasn't great. And he's a guy who probably speaks the most Thai of everybody that I know. Well, I know you are, Stephen. Well, you know, and then they speak in that Southern Thai dialect that, you know. And you're like, huh? And then a lot of times they're not speaking the same, the words are not the same, and you know, it's, when you get into dialects, that's a different story, but I'm talking about basic Central Thai. A lot of the guys I know, they don't speak the language, and I'm going, why not? Now, he's been here a long time. I think he's been here longer than me. China stopped me when I was going to enroll in a Thai language school. You can always enroll when you come back. It'll give you something to do. 35 years. There you go, yeah. How old are you? Yeah, he's been here longer than me by 5 years. About 5 years, 5.5 years. Yeah, I know him very well. I've been to his place. He used to work for the Phuket Gazette. I wrote for the Phuket Gazette. You just turned 6, so you came here younger than me. Jesus Christ. You're one of the guys. There's a few guys. But I gotta dig deep. And the truth is, honestly, if you want to live here, I think you should learn the language. That's the truth. That's another truth. You want to live here, learn how to speak the language. I mean, you know, if you can communicate in English, fine. But there's going to be times when you can't. There's going to be times when people are going, huh? Well, I don't understand you. You know, in fact, like yesterday, the coffee girl, I said, you know, do you speak English? I asked her in Thai, do you speak English? A little bit. So when I said, oh, well, so how long has this place been around? She's like, yeah, me too, really. The only people who spoke any English at all were the people in the tourist areas, and very few of them spoke English very well. That's stupid, really. You may have problems with them and with maps. 90% of the time, I never have a problem. In fact, the other day, I was taking a motorcycle, and I was like, listen, I need you to go to this place. And I showed it to him on my map. And he goes, can you put it in here into my phone? I said, yeah, sure. Put it into his phone. He put his phone on the motorcycle. He just followed the route, but, you know, he went to the same place that I had in my phone, and he went to the place that way. Very simple. It's not that bad. And you know, this is the thing. I understand that some things are a pain in the neck. And I know the government, they're wishy-washy, they flip and they flop. You know, you're dealing with some people, they don't really care. They're just, all they want to do is look at their phone or whatever it is. But you're going to have people like this anywhere in the world. You got governments in America, they don't care about you. Come on. I'm going to say it again, please. For all the people that are watching, and there was like 42 people a few minutes ago, hit the thumbs up. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe, join, super chat, super thanks. Jesus Christ, show the love a little bit. I know lots of Thai words and recognize them, but can't have a conversation. Well, you know, the way around that is to just start speaking in really broken Thai. You know, Tao Rai. You know, I mean, you just start, and then eventually you start picking it up. And then you'll leave, and then you'll be like, oh, and you forget things. Then you come back and you start remembering things, and then you start picking up new things. And before you know it, you're carrying on conversations in sentences. And then you're carrying on conversations in paragraphs. And the next thing you know, you're just carrying on a conversation. And you understand each other. And, you know, I've had many, many Thais who have said to me, you know, most foreigners don't speak Thai very well. And it's really a pleasure to speak to you because we can carry on a conversation. I'm like, oh, okay, good, thanks. I mean, it's nice, but I think it's beneficial. And like I said, if you're going to learn to speak it, learn to read it. Soon our phone apps will allow us to communicate better than ever in Thai. Yeah, but you know, what happens if your phone is dead? What happens if, you know, just learn ห้องน้ำอยู่ที่ไหน You can just say ห้องน้ำอยู่ไหน Yeah, I think, you know, you need to be trying to speak the language all the time. And your wife might get ticked off about it. Some Thais might kind of get flustered with you, or, you know, but most of the time they're very accommodating. And to look on your phone is cheating, to be honest. I mean, I look once in a while, like when I'm in the grocery, I'll go, damn, how do I say that again? And I'll look for the word, and I'll go, okay, do you know where this is? Oh. And sometimes I'm not saying it right, and they look at the word and go, oh, like this. And then I go, oh, okay, so now I know how to say that. And I file it away, and hopefully I remember it. I think that's another truth here. Learn how to speak the language because it will benefit you. And my wife is like, well, I don't really know. I think maybe it's okay if you don't speak the language. Thai speak English. It's like, maybe in her circles, the Thai speak fairly good English. But I think for the most part, you still need to have it. I've been to many, many places in Thailand where they don't speak English. So I just think it's beneficial. I found an authentic Filipino restaurant. Am I supposed to be thrilled by that? I'd rather go to an authentic Burmese restaurant. This place is open now. I think Thais appreciate you trying. Well, of course they do. Of course they appreciate it. And, you know, some people will go, I don't care if they appreciate it or not. Not that many people coming in now. You know, some people say it doesn't matter if they appreciate it or not. Okay, then great. What an attitude to have. Why are you living here? You know, I mean, imagine if you were to go live in, say, Sicily, I say that because I saw Equalizer 3 yesterday with Alex. Very, kind of cool movie, but he was in Sicily. And he started to learn how to speak Italian, Sicilian. Imagine if you went over there and you just went, I'm not going to learn how to learn. I'm not going to learn how to anything. I'm not going to learn anything about the language. That's pretty incredible. I mean, I would say I'm intermediate to upper intermediate Thai. And, my Spanish suffered over the years because I have not practiced it, but I used to speak pretty good Spanish. And now, I know a little Khmer, a little Vietnamese, a little Burmese. I used to know a little Russian. Now I forget about this stuff, but I used to have cheat sheets, and I would just look at them, and then I'd start to remember. So I wouldn't mind learning it. Language is a very interesting. It's very interesting, and you can do a lot with it. I don't think I'd like to learn any other, really, I don't know that I'd like to learn another Asian language, but maybe Italian, maybe Spanish. I don't know. Jollibee is like the McDonald's of the Philippines, and honestly, I hate to say it, a lot of Filipinos like it, but I think it sucks. I think it's terrible. It's like one of the worst places I've ever been in my life. It's like Rap God minus. If you think Rap God is bad, go to Jollibee. Yeah. They don't mind greasy food. They don't mind all that stuff. Now, he was joking. He's joking. Jollibee is a franchise. I don't know. Do they have Jollibee in Thailand now? I think they do. But it's not very good. And it's lousy. Fried chicken, spaghetti, hot dogs. Not very good. I'll never eat there again, honestly. There are some places now I'm more picky about what I eat. I know if I come here and have something like this, it's not that bad. I already know this going in. But this is the kind of food that, all right, I'll eat it. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. I don't want to eat below okay. And that's the thing. In Thailand, you don't have to eat lousy food. If you go to a place and the food is not good, never go there again. That's another truth. There you go. Learn the language. Understand there's lots of traffic, lots of pollution. You need to know these things. And once you've been here for a while, I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, I can't even think about living in the United States. I barely remember what it was like to live there. And for me, I think to myself, I don't want to think about that. I'd rather go and live in Ecuador. I'd rather go live in Italy. I'd rather go live in Portugal. I'd much rather go there than go back to the States. I'd much rather learn new than to have to go back somewhere else and go, okay, I'm back here, now what? I could look at it as an adventure. What am I going to do here? But I don't want to. I'd much rather go somewhere else. But they got a couple of dishes that are very good. But they also have a lot of dishes that are not very good. You know. And say what you will, like I've been to the Philippines many, many times. I said this. I haven't been there in a long time, but I've been there many, many times. I've been throughout the Philippines. And, you know, I've stayed in some nice hotels. I've stayed in some hotels that were, you know, 20 bucks a night or whatever. And I don't want to go back. I have no reason to go back there. I'm not interested. I don't want to know the culture. I don't care. I'd rather go to Portugal. I'd rather go to, you know, Greece. I'd rather go to Italy. I'd rather go to Ecuador. I don't want to go back there. It's 10 o'clock. Time you got to be out of there. How much stuff you got to pack? Well, you know, it's 10:10. I don't know if I'm going to make it till 11 o'clock. I don't think the coffee, little coffee fare is really worth it. Although I could probably go walk over there and see, are they setting up now? Yeah, I guess I could. Why not? What's today? Today's Tuesday. They got this new guy working here. They have about 4 girls here and like 1 guy. Now they got another guy. And I don't know if they got rid of one of the girls, but it'll take some getting used to. You know, living here, I hate to say it, but living here is not for everyone. Some people can never, they just go, well, why did they do this? Why did they do that? Why you gotta ask why? Why do you gotta compare all the time? You don't. You don't need to compare all the time. Well, you know, here it's this much money, but back home it's that much money. Okay, so it's not that much here. It's cheaper here, or it's more expensive here. And I can tell you, coffee here is, it's about the same price as in the U.S. It's almost the same price. I'm gonna tell this guy, just leave my stuff here. I'm gonna take a walk. I'm gonna get out of here. Hang on. I gotta tell him, just leave my stuff here. Is that what you do? Isn't that nice? Hey, ผมจะกลับมา I'll be back. Yes, I'll be back. I'm thinking what is this? You ever love it or you don't. It goes for a lot of places. Well, yeah, that's pretty true. I put my wallet in my bag. Sometimes you love the place and sometimes you don't. I know people that have come here and they were here one time and they go, I don't want to go there. Most of the time, most people like it. But, I mean, you know, like I went to Guyana once. I liked it. Would I go back? No, I wouldn't. It's not that I don't like the place or I hate the place or anything like that. It's just, it doesn't thrill me. It doesn't give me a woody. All right, looks like they're already getting set up here. Now, did they take the sign down? No, they didn't. Okay. You see here, coffee in the garden. Infinite cacao. You know, this pole here is really in the way for them. You know, there's not a whole lot here. I mean, honestly.
They got Cafe Amazon right here, which, you know, to come here is like, why? There's Cafe Amazon elsewhere. Here's another place. What is this? Aram Concept? Something like that. Coffee Slow Bar. Leck Around. I don't understand all these names. It says Aram Concept. Patia Champion. There's all these things here. Right? What does this have to do with coffee right here? Nothing. What does this have to do with coffee? Nothing. Tea. Cakes. These cakes are 39 baht each. 3 for 100. So they're cheap. I mean, these are cheap. Cakes are cheap. Over here, Kanoms. This is what I'm saying. They don't have a lot of coffee. This is a coffee place right here, Ghost Cafe. But I don't think it's a normal cafe. Suzuki Coffee, you know, Cocoa Place, the clothes. Oh, they got the capsules with Suzuki. Okay, so this goes over here. Doi Coffee. You see? Look at this. Close. Midnight Cocoa. This is not about coffee. Here's clothes again. This is probably the biggest coffee shop in the place. Might Coffee. No clothes here. This is just telephone. I have one of these on the back of mine. I don't want to change it. But they're very useful. Might Coffee. Matcha. Matcha over here. Tea room. Coffee in the garden. So they call it coffee in the garden, and yet there's only a couple of little coffee places. You see over here, clothes, more clothes. Yams, I don't know what that means. You can sit over here underneath the waterfall. You can sit over here. It's just, they just provide places to sit. But I mean, how many coffee places are in this? There's a lot of clothing places. There's a couple of tea places. This is an air conditioning. I don't know what these things are. You know, they got air conditioning, water. They got all kinds of stuff here. But this is the place over here that has the most. Has you know, the most. It's more like a coffee place. Might Coffee. Ugh, God. See, they have a full-on. This is full-on. They have, you know, things to buy. They have all kinds of coffee. They sell coffee. So this is a pretty good little coffee shop right here. I don't know how the coffee tastes. And here you have in here just a little, I don't know what this is. This is Olive de Casa. Oh, these are olive trees. Huh. Very interesting. I don't know about that. I think that's what they are. I don't know. Anyway, they got tea over here. And that's it. You see, you got tea here. You got cacao. Chocolate chunks. And that's it. Anyway, so there you go. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know that it's a Swiss coffee, to be honest. It could be, but I don't really think so. I know there was the place that I went to the other day was a Chinese chain, and it was bad, man. It was really bad. Honestly, that was the worst place I've ever been in my life. Worst coffee I've ever had. Cafe Amazon is kind of like lower middle. That place was the very bottom. Not many people in the mall here today. I don't know why. Anyway, ice cream. Why they need this big place for the ice cream, I don't know. They must be paying They must be paying quite a bit. Alrighty, so we're back at Pacamara.
What other truths are there? If you think that chick was hot, oh my God. Gennaro, that was I'll be generous and I'll say that was a 5 in Thailand. Another truth. Your idea of a good-looking woman might not be the same as somebody else's here. I mean, not to go back to Pattaya again, but when I was there, the one thing that I remember is that 95% of the girls were slathered with tattoos. I'm not talking about really nice, tastefully done tattoos, little Tweety birds with color or, you know, whatever, a little flower. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about black widows, skull and crossbones, dark green, ugly tattoos, you know, leg tattoos, full tattoos. And I'm like, this is the norm? Why? Sorry, it just, if that's the norm, that ain't me. So, that's what I remember in Pattaya. And I thought out of all these girls, there were a couple that had nice bodies or something like that. But you know, it's like, you know, I'm not a fan of it, and if it's tastefully done, maybe you can't really see that the girl's got it or something like that. She's wearing some clothes, which is another thing. You know, you go into the bars, they're dressed half naked. And, you know, I understand, you know, they're trying to get guys. But, you know, when she comes out, she better be tastefully dressed. That's all. Tastefully dressed. Hopefully no tattoos. I don't know. On this one, I understand some guys have told me, I don't care about them, that big deal, the girl's the girl. I'm like, yeah, okay, buddy. She's got a tarantula or a black widow on her, and she's got like a, you know, a little symbol on her lower back, like a bullseye. What are you supposed to think? You know, and I've thought about tattoos. I thought about tattoos when I was younger. And I thought, you know, I wanted to get 3 tattoos, and I never got them because I thought once I get it, that's it. It's done. You can't turn back. You can't just say, okay, well, I'll get rid of it and it'll look fine. No, it won't. So that's the other thing, you know, if you're gonna, you know, well, yeah, that's kind of like what it is. And if you look at the nice Thai girls here. I'm talking about Thai girls who come from good families. I'm not saying they don't have tattoos. Yeah, sure, some of them have tattoos. I'm saying you look at some nice Thai girls. I'm not, just because she's a nice girl doesn't mean that when you get her in the sack, she's going to be like a dead fish or something. But she's a nice girl. She comes from a decent family. She would never think about dressing in, like, you know, letting her boobs fly all over the place and let everybody see them or something. You know, just a relatively regular Thai girl. Conservative, somewhat conservative. She might wear a little skirt that might be a tad bit short once in a while, something like that. But that's the kind of girl you should be shooting for, not some freaking chick that she just came off the farm. She don't have an education and she's just trying to make a better life for herself, which I understand. But why do you have to factor into that? That's the other truth. Why do you have to factor into them having a better life? Because you're a nice guy? I'm a nice guy. Doesn't mean I want to pay for a chick to have a better life. Oh, yeah. I don't believe in any of that stuff, but okay. Maybe the girl believes in it, but that's another matter. The temple thing. I keep an eye on my wife about the temple. If she started going to the temple like every week, 3 times every week, I would say something. I would be like, hey, you're going overboard. You need to remember that, you know, in Buddhism, you need to take good care of your husband, and, you know, while you may be into Buddha, you better be into me. You know, and her and I have these kind of talks sometimes where I'm like, hey, you know, you need to remember this and this and this. It's okay you want to do this. I understand that, but... Which is, you know, that's the other truth. Get some chick who's middle class or something like that. Lower middle class, upper middle class. You ain't gonna get a high-so chick. The chances of that are slim to none here. So all you guys going, oh, I've got a girl, she's high-so. She thinks she's high-so. The guy yesterday was telling me he knew that this girl, well, she was just a little farm girl. She met some Japanese guys. She went to Japan. She lived in Japan with the guy. The guy was an old guy. She lived with him for 10 years. The guy croaked. She got 2 houses, a bunch of cash. She started up a massage business. So that's what she does there. Now she's got big money. She's got 3 houses here. She's got 2 houses over there. She's got money. Okay, good for her. But she rolls through these guys like, you know, she's got a new guy. The guy's got money. He's an old guy. She looks for the guys who, they're not so healthy. They smoke and they drink. And they're going to kick the bucket. I don't know. But, like, if my girl was looking at me like going, how much longer do you have to live? Because I want to get the money out of you. I don't know that I'd want to have her in my corner. I want the one who says, I want you to stay alive so you can be with me. You know, maybe that's a pipe dream. In their head, they might all be going, well, you know, it's life. Well, that's the really long game. You know. That really is that's about the longest game you can play. Wait until the guy dies. That's the other inevitable truth here. The inevitable truth here is that not everybody is only out for money, but there are quite a few people who they're thinking to themselves, if I had money, I could do this. If I had money, I could do that. Just like back in the States or Australia or whatever else. They just maybe go about it a different way in their head. They may try to reach a different conclusion or result rather. But yeah, that's something I've thought about. Do you really want a girl who's waiting for you to kick the bucket? And you know what was funny is that he told me that his girl got this condo because the sister transferred money over to her. Now the sister transferred money over to her, and then like 6 months later, the guy and the sister came over from Japan and were looking at the house. And the guy was like looking at the cupboards and looking at the window seals and like looking at the doors and checking everything out. And it dawned on my friend who was with this girl, it dawned on my friend, this guy thinks this is his house. So she might have told him, I'm gonna get you a house in Thailand and you can stay there whenever you want. So the guy stayed there for like a week, and then they took off and they went somewhere else, and then they never came back, and now the guy kicked the bucket, and that's the end of him. It's interesting when you think about it. And honestly, that last bit there was a bit bitter. I don't believe that Japanese men are thinking to themselves, oh, I want to give away my money, I want to piss my money away so that all these girls have a better life. Or I have so much money I don't care. Yeah, maybe some of them, but not all of them. So I don't mean to, go on and drone on about this or anything like that, but, now that I think about it, and somebody in the channel said the other day, yeah, I need to aim higher. And when I heard that phrase, it wasn't my phrase, somebody else told me, guys need to aim higher. You come here, would you go with a girl in the States that was from she graduated the 4th grade and that was it? Maybe, but probably not. Oh, that's horrible. But more than likely, you would not be with a girl if she had a 3rd or 4th grade education, 6th grade education. You wouldn't be with her. You'd be like, honey, you're working at the cosmetics counter. This is all you're going to make in your life, and you're probably not going to, unless you figure something out, you're not going to do better. You need to do better. So how about you find some girl, she doesn't have to be rich, just like she doesn't have to search for a rich guy. She just has to be smart. She graduates, from high school, and she goes on, she's got a pretty good job. She's making $30,000, $40,000 a month. Okay, good for her. You're like, you can take care of yourself. You don't need me. That's the whole point. She doesn't need you. And then if she's got a college education, she starts out, maybe she's making, say, $25,000 a month. And after 2 years, she's making $45,000. Wouldn't you rather have a chick like that? I don't know. I guess if you're older and you want a companion, then you're gonna, you want somebody, and I understand, you want somebody who they look good, they give you a chubby, you don't have any problems when you look at them, you go shawing, but who says you can't find one that's educated that doesn't make you do that? Anyway, like I said, I don't want to drone on and on about it, but I think that's the truth. Anyway, well, here we are. I already went down by the market, walked over here. I've had I don't know how many coffees today. One at home, one at Cafe Amazon, and one here. So I've had 3 double espressos in a space of about 3 hours. Which is a bit much for me. 2 I can handle, but 3. So all I'm gonna do today is I want to get some sausages and 2 more sleeps until the weekend. 2? Today's Tuesday. Huh? Today's Tuesday. So for you, it's almost Wednesday. You got Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Okay, I guess. Do those coffee joints sell kratom drink? No, they don't. But what I can say, even more than when I made the video a couple of months ago, they are selling that stuff like crazy now. It's all over the place. I mean, I went to Kong Tui. You know, when I went a couple of months ago or a month ago, whatever it was, I was walking around the market. I ran up and I looked and I go, 2 different carts full of leaves. And I said to them, "You got any tea?" "Yes, we do." "Okay, thank you. Give me one." Right there. I was like, it was very easy. I just stumbled onto it. I'm like, oh, here we go. At the market over here, there's got to be 4 or 5 places in there selling it. They sell the leaves, they sell the tea. They all sell the tea, but it's always done kind of hush-hush. And then on the street here, there's like 4 or 5 places just on this street right now. There's like 4 or 5 places at any one time that sell kratom. There's more kratom than there is bud on this street. Coffee keeps you awake. Lame attempt and a joke. What does, the kratom or the weed? Kratom is good for depression. And you know, when I first did it a couple of years ago, I don't know how long it's been. It's been about yeah, kratom. Okay, you get it in powder or capsules or leaves, or what do you make the tea yourself, or how do you do it? Because I don't think they're selling the tea in the United States, not like they are here. But liquid. Really? I mean, is it like a regular, like, you know, a bottle of tea? Oh, now do they make it there, or is it like, you know, processed or whatever? I mean, you know, because here they sell it just tea, and they sell tea with cough medicine in it also. And the cough medicine has codeine in it, so it kicks your ass. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I like that. I like to see it because I know a lot of people in the U.S., they use the powder, or they use capsules and stuff like that. But here, it's the leaves and the tea, and that's it. And I can tell you, the first time I did it was because, you know, one of the guys, I think he's the husband of my wife's sister. He carried around a bag like this, and it was full of leaves. And I was asking my sister, well, what's all that's, or my wife, I was like, well, what's that stuff? Oh, kratom. Oh, really? So then I was sitting there. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was sitting there, and I asked him. I said, well, so what's the deal with this stuff? Oh yeah, we get it very easy. It's no problem now. It's legal. And I remember hearing and reading that it was legal. And then he goes, oh, you want some? Yeah, okay. We just walked outside. There's 2 trees right there. He goes, here you go. So he gave me some, and I gave some to Nicholas, because I thought if it's not that bad, then I'm not going to worry about it. And, you know, he's 18. I said, okay. And I was surprised because the only thing it did was it made me feel good. But I chewed the leaves, and I was like, it kind of tastes like shit. But I chewed the leaves, and it was very nice. And then I was trying to get the tea, and trying to get the leaves, and I was making some tea by myself. And the tea was a bit bitter. So I tried putting honey in it. I tried doing a couple different things. I could never get it right. And then this lady, she goes, if you don't want the leaf, because she had like this huge bag of leaves, and she's like, oh, this is like 500 baht. And I go, I don't need that many leaves. I can't even use those. What are you talking about? I mean, it was crazy. She had a big bag of leaves, and she was like, oh, this is 500 baht. I was like, I can't even, how am I going to use that? She goes, oh, the guy over there sells the tea. I go, okay. So I went over, I got myself a bottle of it. And I was like, this is pretty good. And I've passed some out to my friends, and they seem to like it. But, you know, it's just like anything else. I don't want to get too involved in it. I just don't want to do it all the time. It's not something that I'm looking for. Oh God, I gotta go get it today. There's no real side effects, no. None at all. You know, that's the good thing. Now, if you drink a bunch of it, I'm talking about like, you know, I've had a big bottle before, and that'll last you all day or 2 days or 3 days. But if you drank it all in one day, it would be, you know, you might have a nice buzz, but you wouldn't feel like, oh my God, this is going to kill me, or oh, I really feel bad, or I got a hangover. You won't feel like it. Cigar? No, I don't think so. I don't know what smoking it would do, but I'm not into smoking shit, you know. I mean, you know, if I want, I can go, I tell you what, Dowla, if you want something, just let me know. I can square you away. I'll get you a little bottle if you want. It's like 40 baht. It doesn't matter, you know. And, you know, get a couple glasses out of it. You'll see. You know, it's not the kind of thing that gets you wasted. You're not like drunk. You're not like out of control. It's nothing like that, but it does make you feel a little better. You know, really. So sometimes, you know, that's what it's good for. You feel like shit. You go, all right, let me get a little bottle of this. You know. But I will say it again, it's not the cure-all, it's not the end-all. Yes, it does boost serotonin, for sure. It's the perfect leaf to chew when I'm driving here, yeah. Removes the stress and increases focus on the task at hand, yeah. That's a good way of, and a serotonin boost, that's a good way of putting it. You feel better. And you don't have this come down where when it starts to wear off, you're like, oh, I'm all bummed out, man. Oh, it's not like that. You don't even really notice. You know, I like this stuff. I just am hesitant because I've read from many places, oh, you have to be careful. You don't want to get addicted to it and all this other kind of stuff. And I've seen them in various places. I've seen them boiling the leaves and putting it all together. I mean, I have some videos, some photos and stuff like that. And I don't know. I've never seen anybody. I don't chew the leaves. I don't buy leaves. I don't buy any of that stuff. And so, you know, like for me, it's like I don't have to have it. It's not near me all the time. I'm not like, oh. I'm not jonesing for it, you know. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You know, really, it can help. It can help you just get a little bit better, and you're like, oh wow, you know, things are not that bad. You know, or if you're feeling good, you just feel a little bit better, and you're just like, boop, 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 boop. You know, much better than taking. I mean, you know, it's about as organic as you can get. You know, I don't know about the drinks. Because I've drank the stuff that was just pure kratom, and I've drank stuff that was kratom with other stuff in it. And, you know, the kratom is cheap. I mean, here it's dirt cheap. You can get a small bottle for like 20 baht, and a big bottle for like 40, 50 baht. And then they put the stuff in it, then it costs more. But, you know, there's lots of stalls near out my place. They always seem busy with customers. Yeah, and if you remember, in Pattaya, a couple of weeks ago, they busted 2 people. And that's the thing, too, with weed. I know with weed, sometimes you get a little bit of a hangover. And, you know, whatever. I mean, most people don't. It depends on how much you smoke, what it is, and, you know. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I don't know what, honestly, I don't know what happened to me. Because I used to love to party. Really? Well, that's what I was told. You know, we had a couple of trees, and it was like, yeah, it used to be that people would come and steal the leaves. Now nobody steals the leaves. It's so cheap. It's dirt cheap. 100 leaves, you could go for a couple, I mean, you know, depending on how much you're chewing them, but you could go for days. For, you know, 20 baht, 35 baht. 35 baht is the high end. That's like the better leaf. And I don't even remember what they told me, but like it's red vein, white vein, green vein. And I thought it was, I can't remember now, but you know, I used to buy some of the leaves. I wanted to see what would happen, and I would put it in a thermos with boiling water. I'd close the thermos and let it sit there for a half an hour, and then I would pour it out, and I would drink the tea, and it was good. It was a bit bitter, but I would put some stuff in there, honey or, you know, a little soda or something to make it taste a little better. And I don't do that anymore because they make it better than I do. So if I really want some, I can just go down the street and go, here's 40 baht, give me a little bottle of that. And I do remember that I went into the old Starbucks when Starbucks was right here, and Beer saw me with a bottle of it, and she goes, what are you doing, Scott? And I said, what do you mean? She goes, what's in that bottle? She knew what was in it. She knew what was in it. And I go, oh, nothing. And she goes, She knew. Because she's from the South. She was from the South. She's from Hat Yai. So she was from as far south as you know, pretty much as far south as you can get. And she knew what it was because it's everywhere. And this is the thing. You see them rolling that back now? I just find it so hard to believe that they legalized weed and that they say, oh, we didn't know it was for recreational purposes. Oh, the law needs to be tightened up. We didn't know. It, you know, was only supposed to be for medicinal use only. How did they not know? Richard, I can tell you I've never had a problem. And in a couple of years, I've probably done it, I don't know, 30 times, 50 times. In a couple of years, I probably had, 50 drinks of it. Never got sick, nothing. Not a bit. Yeah, nothing really. Now, I will say this. If you drink a little bit too much of it, you might get a little constipation. And that's not pleasant, but, you get through it. No women working today. I don't understand it. Only guys. Now the afternoon I'll come back, there'll be 4 women and no guys. 20 bucks an eighth. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. Here I know it cost, I mean, I know of a place where it's like 650 baht, which is almost $20 a gram. It's ridiculous. It's anywhere from 500 to 1,000 baht a gram. And you know, it's like, how stoned do you need to get? How messed up do you need to be? And for me, I don't need to be. That's the thing. I don't have to be. I got enough demons in my mind without engaging in, you know, doing drugs. And I did drugs when I was younger. I tried damn near everything. The only thing I didn't try was heroin. Other than that, you name it, I tried it. And for whatever reason, I got away from everything. There you go. Wow, I didn't know. Is in New York it's illegal? I don't even know. I don't even know now. I have no idea. I know a lot more places are legal now, but I didn't know about New York. But yeah, this is the thing, Steve. 2 to 5 o'clock, you can't buy alcohol. And I cannot tell you how many times I've been in the mall and I've been shopping, and then I go, oh, I think I'll get a bottle of wine. I go into the liquor store, and they're like, we're closed. I go, what do you mean? Oh, it's 2:15. And then I'm like, am I going to wait until 5 o'clock? Am I going to come back? Do I want a bottle of wine that bad? No. So I don't come back, so they lose the sale. And then it's like, am I out getting thrashed on wine? No, most of the time, I have a couple glasses at most. I mean, you know, once in a while, maybe I'll drink a bottle or two. But most of the time, it's just like 2 glasses. That's it. That's what me and my wife have, a glass or 2 of wine. Right now, we have a bottle of wine at home, and there's about, I'd say, a third of the bottle left. Enough for 2 half glasses. So, you know, one of us is gonna go and get some wine. Yeah, the thing is the mom and pop shops sell it anytime, but they don't have the variety. I want to get a certain particular type of wine. I don't want to have to play around and wonder, what am I gonna get? Do I like this stuff? Is it any good? You know, where am I? I am in Bangkok at Pakamara Coffee Shop. The irony is that they put the law into place so that the kids wouldn't buy booze on the way home from school, even though minors are not allowed to buy at any time. I understand that. And that law has been in place for over 50 years. 1952, they put it into effect. I can't believe that. For over 50 years, people have been like, oh, I can't buy any booze at 2 o'clock. And you know, I mean, like, it does, to me, it doesn't really affect me that much. But like I said, every once in a while, it'll be like 3 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I think I'll go get a, oh, I can't. You know, and I'm not going out buying, you know, a 6-pack or a 12-pack. I don't usually do that. I can't remember the last time I bought a 6-pack. But once in a while, I'll go out and get a bottle of wine. My wife will come home. She'll have 2-3 bottles of wine. No, it's been in place for more than 50 years. It was the junta in 1952 that put it into effect. It's been for 52 years now. Thaksin had nothing to do with it. I was just reading this the other day. They're trying to get rid of it. There are people that are saying, hey, listen, it's going to mean more money, more tourists. It's going to be good for us. And you know, the government is so conservative, and you know, they're not that conservative. I can tell you right away, they're not that conservative. All those generals and all these other people, you know, they got the Mia Luong, the Mia Noi, and they got 5 Mia Nois, and you know, they're doing whatever they can. But you know, it's always, oh no, we never do anything. But they do. This is the thing. That's what I've read, Steve. 50 years. 1972. It was put into effect. Well, we buy a fair amount of wine. We probably buy 4 or 5 bottles a month. And we usually drink them all. You know, which I'm always careful about it, just because I always try to watch what I'm eating and what I'm, you know. And so I'm a little hesitant sometimes, but then other times I'm like, fuck it. Have a couple glasses of vino. You know, why not? Sometimes it's nice. It's nice and relaxing. I'm sitting there with the old lady. The kids are there. You know, we drink a little bit of wine, have some nice food. You know, a little cheese, whatever. All right, it's time to go to sleep. I think they sell Boone's Farm, but not all that often. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure a long time ago I saw it, but I haven't seen any Ripple. And I wouldn't buy that stuff anyway. That's a little bit too seedy for my taste. I like slightly better. Call me pretentious. I like slightly better wine. This came from the vineyard 3 days ago. And even, you know, even Thai wines. I just don't want it. I've been to Thai vineyards, taken photos of Thai vineyards and things like that a long time ago. I used to go and shoot the vineyards and, you know, sell the photos and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, the wine was kind of like, I drank it and I was like, all right, this is all right. But, you know, listen, Australian wine is better. But I'm a little tired of Australian wine. Give me a Chilean wine, give me a French wine, give me an Italian wine. Give me these kind of wines any day. Anyway. There you go. You're gonna have your wine, you're gonna have your weed for now. Maybe if you get a card. You can get yourself some kratom. And I think in America they call it kratom. Something like that. They call it kratom. I don't know. But you know, it's a lot more expensive back home. It's a lot more expensive back home than it is here. I can tell you that right now. That's one thing. There's one truth. Kratom here is about, oh my God, let me think here. If it's 30 baht for 100 grams, that's about $1, not even $1. It probably costs 10 to 15 times more in America. Which, believe me, the thought crossed my kratom. I actually thought to myself, we got a couple of trees on our land. We could put some more trees up, and we could export the leaves. Then I started thinking about it, and I just went, it's probably not worth it. It's not worth, putting 100 trees in, 200 trees in, and then you got to worry about people stealing the stuff. And then trying to export them in. Is there a license needed? How are you going to do it? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to safeguard everything? Are you going to be able to sell the stuff and you can get it through in America where you can legally sell it? $8 for a bottle, that gives me 4 servings. That's pretty good. I mean, that's about 70 baht a serving. That's still pretty cheap. So it's not 10 times more for you. Might be something you could drink before an 9-hour flight back to Oz. Well, you should try it. That's what I'm gonna say. Give it a go. You can't go wrong with it. It's not like you're gonna, no, it's not native, but people do grow it there. People have started to grow it, like in Florida, and I can't remember where else. But I don't think it's quite the same as what it is here. And they have it here, they have it in Myanmar, they have it, I think they have it in Malaysia, and maybe Indonesia, I don't know, Cambodia. So, plenty of places where you can get it. Yes, it is illegal in some areas, just like weed, which, again, it really amazes me that you can sell booze, and booze, people go out in cars and get behind the wheel of a car and they're drunk, and they crash into other people and kill other people. Well, generally, if you smoke some herb or you use some kratom, that's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's probably 100th of what happens with people driving under the influence of alcohol. So I never get it, and I don't get it now. And the thing is that the alcohol companies and the lobbies, they don't want the government to make more laws or make laws that make it more difficult to drink. Drinking is part of a culture. And somebody just wrote me the other day and said, well, I don't understand all this, and I know weed, if you smoke a little weed, it's not that bad. You do a pill or two, it's not that bad, blah, blah, blah. And okay, you do the kratom, but if you can just go out and have a couple of drinks and it's fine. Yeah, but people don't want to drink sometimes. I don't want to go out and drink a bunch of beer or drink tequila all the time. I don't want it. For what? So I can wake up with a hangover? I mean, you guys have seen, I've tied it on before with some of the tequila bottles I've had. I've still got like 4 or 5 bottles left, and I don't drink it. I can't remember the last time I drank tequila. And I really like tequila, but, I just can't handle getting smashed and then having to suffer the consequences. So, that's the way it goes with that. I just don't want to be involved in it. And, like for me, the way that I think now is, does it do anything positive for me? If I go out to the bars and I get smashed, it's not going to do anything positive for me, I can tell you that. It might loosen me up a little, and then I might get in trouble. I might be dancing on the stage making an ass out of myself. I don't know. What is this guy putting up? Anyway, it's been a long stream, 2 hours. So I appreciate everybody joining me. Thank you very much. Thank you for all those who have watched, who have joined in. I appreciate it. Once again, please smash the like button, subscribe, join, hit the notification bell, become a VIP member of the YouTube channel. No, if I get a hangover, then basically I just do what I have to do. I don't even think about it because I don't want to waste energy. I don't get grumpy. I don't get grumpy when I drink, but go down in the description. Everything's down there in the description. If you need a little help with something, an American in Bangkok at gmail.com. If you need help with moving over here, with a relationship, whatever it is, let me know. Send me a message. We'll set something up and I'll help you out. I appreciate it. And otherwise, just leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Maybe on Friday. 18 degrees Fahrenheit in South Texas, so count your blessings. Well, it's nice right now. It's very, very nice right now. Temperature is about as perfect as it gets. A little bit warm, but that's okay. So, yeah, my name is Scott. I'm a bald American in Bangkok. And until next time, Chok Di Leo Jerken Mai, which is good luck and see you later. If I could think of some other way to say goodbye, I probably would, but I'm too lazy. So anyway, take it easy, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, I don't know.